Hello and welcome to Warblog. Today we're going to look at a new development called mines. These are minefields, and the logos might look a little more attractive later. I've only just started developing it, so they'll do for the time being. I'm using this scenario because there were mines in it. They used mines to slow the advance of the Nigerian government forces down. So this road is mined there, and they've got a small sort of minefield across there. Now you can see the minefield, so that's fair enough, but you don't necessarily know how much is in there, but you can find out how much is in there with a with an engineering unit. But to start off with, we're going to try and go through this minefield. First thing is we get asked if we want to go through it. That's pretty much all this screen's about. And if we say no, we just go back to the game and we're back where we were. So we're going to go through this minefield with this unit, and still this silly glitch of that. But anyway, he got 0.8 damage, and there he is, sat in the minefield with no movement left, 0.8 damage. So going into the minefield caused him to go to 0 movement. So ordinarily, to go through this scrub, it's 1.5, so here he should be down to 3 movement, but as he commits himself to going through the minefield, he loses 0.4 and all the rest of his movement, leaving him with 0 movement and 0.4 depression. So that's how that works. The engineering units, there's one here, are quite powerful, so that's as far as he can move. He can't move any further at the moment, so we have to wait till next turn. So the Boko Haram units are going to move out of the way for purposes of demonstration. And next turn, obviously these guys can now move on out of the minefields. That didn't look right. Okay, so this guy is going to move into the minefields. He can't do anything now. He can't do anything mine-wise because he's not got full movement. So we have to wait until his turn. And it's now the Nigerian government turn again. So he's now got full movement complement, which means we can open up the magic box and go into the mine selection system. And in here, we can see now that there's an engineering unit in there, you can see that he's got 1, the density in there is 1. That means that the damage will go from 0 to 1. And the other ones were 1. And so that was why he got 0.4 and 0.8 damage respectively, etc. So they're a bit of a pain, but if there are 2, they could be quite significant, and they can go up to any number. Generally speaking, I think 4 would be about the highest that I would naturally do them at. You can build minefields until the cows come home. But the thing is, this unit can build a minefield now. I'll point with my mouse, not with my fingers. This unit can build a minefield, but it will take him 6 whole turns before we could do another one. So he's going to clear this minefield. So we go there, and we've got a new density of 0. So we go back to the game, and for the first time in about 10 goes, the minefield is gone. I did about 10th time I've done this video. However, what I've done here, I've tweaked the system so that you can still see he's got full movement. So because he's got full movement, I can do it again. So now I can go back into here. Now ordinarily he would be at 0 movement and he would have been flagged up as used, which means he could not do another mine-related activity for 6 turns. But instead of me pressing the end turn button 12 times, because it would go through Boko Haram, Nigeria, Boko Haram, Nigeria, etc. to get through 6 turns, I've just done this. So now we're not going to clear mines, we're going to create a mine. So we do that, and we've got a new density of 1, and there you can see the minefield is now underneath him. We could actually go in there again and increase the density. In actual fact, I'm going to go this way, down here, and the turn, and the turn. Let me just see if we can move into there. Yeah, I must have just put my mouse wrong, it scared me. But as you can see, this unit has recovered from his depressions, and so have these units. So the minefields are not devastating, but the thing is, if you want to move and continue fighting and not take the time to recover, they can be a bit of a pain. Now this one's gone up to a density of 2. What we're going to do here, just for sake of demonstration, is we're going to clear that minefield. So it's now clear, but the road is not necessarily clear. And we're going to try and go through that minefield. We're going to commit to going through it, and we've got 1.9 damage because that's now a 2-factor minefield. So you can see if I put another factor in there, that could be quite significant. I mean, you're never going to go below 2 of your maximum. So if that was 3.9, he would have been permanently depressed by 0.9. So that's pretty much mines in a nutshell, really. Engineering units can do it. Their factors that they can add and clear mines is based on their strength. Now, when this game, when I initially did this game, he had a 5 factor, which would have been quite powerful. So, and there are a lot of other engineering units in the game, and I'm actually going to have to go through them bit by bit when I see them and reduce them down to 1. They're going to be a bit like insurgents. They can never really be more than 1. If I have one at 2, that's going to be like a divisional level engineering company, like this one is, but in a serious big game, maybe one of the big Iran-Iraq games. So and maybe that will be more focused on them clearing minefields so they can do it a lot quicker, etc., etc. So that's pretty much what was that? That's pretty much mines. I don't think there's much more to say. The only thing I would say is I've also done barbed wire. So there is actually a similar thing for barbed wire, but that's sort of slightly different. And that I'm not sure, I haven't completed it yet, so there'll be another development video for that at some point. There's lots of other sort of things about mines that I haven't really settled myself on. For example, if I lay the mines and then I move into them, surely I should have a map. Well, I've decided that operationally individual units won't know where mines are. Even if you give everyone a map, they're going to take casualties going through an area that's mined at the significant level that these mines represent. And so the mines operate for both sides, but one of the things comes down to, well, if this unit now attacks this unit here, well, in theory he's defended because he's in a minefield. So the rules for attacking units in minefields is that you're halved. So he would be halved to attack there, and he would be basically at 3/4 if he was attacking a unit that was in a barbed wire. Barbed wire defences is not just barbed wire, but it's all the things that go with it. Ditches and spikes and things like that. And so it represents sort of a more minor level of defence that is sort of not integral with the position of the units, so to speak. Unlike trenches, which the units are in, the barbed wire and the sort of ditches and things are probably, could be many hundreds of yards ahead of them, and they're more permanent. So, but essentially, when units go into a hex with barbed wire and ditches and such, they will again come to a halt. And if they're fighting units in them, they'll be at 3/4 strength. So, but I haven't quite finished that yet. So hopefully this mines will give the game a new dimension, because there were quite a few games where they did have mines, and I think in this one the reason they basically mined this road and some of the approaches, so that's fairly significant. I mean it's sort of, well, we just go around it. Well, fair enough, of course you can go around it, and you can go through it. They're not very dense, but it's still an inconvenience because you have to go there, and all of a sudden this is quite a choke point. You could get counterattack on that one point. Other things that I haven't done yet are, for example, if you were in here and you were attacked and you had to retreat into that hex, you wouldn't get any damage. So you don't get damage from retreating into mine hexes. To be quite honest, it's just I haven't got that far yet, and it's a little complex. But to some extent, I might leave it on the rationale that you've just received damage, and you could say that damage was integral with your retreat route, because you're gonna have received damage from retreating, etc. And there are probably quite a few other sort of situations where mines are going to come into effect, and where the game mechanics don't reflect what you might expect, things that I haven't thought of. Anyone that's been watching for a while will notice that I've had that little logo there for absolutely ages now. I've never done anything with it, but now all three logos are active, so that's good. I will maybe possibly make the little red things the same. We'll have a little skull in there, so they're a little more decorative, and maybe make them sort of more integral, so they've got hexagonal sides here and then a circle, so they sort of fit in there. But I can do that relatively easily. I'm just working with the mechanics at the moment. So that's it. That's minefields. I hope that adds another intriguing dimension for you. And I'll speak to you later. Cheers, bye.